Hi guys, it's me again. As we all are aware, I'm an avid book reader and I'm constantly buying all the books imaginable. So my bookshelf TBR is growing, and unfortunately so is the amount of series I am currently in the middle of, which is turning into a major problem. Who's surprised? Not me. In the last video, I started off with being in the middle of 28 unfinished series. But in this video, we have increased that number to 34 series I'm currently in the middle of. So here we go again. Here's to round 2. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the intro, and I hate saying that, but there's nothing else to say, I'm continuing my series track, get through as many series as possible. And the last video I did this, I will link it up above, I was on 28 series and I am now on 34. I've read new books since then, and then I've now started new series since then, and then I haven't finished any series. So we obviously really need this video to get us that number just as much down as possible. And because I'm not in the mood to reading it or finishing it, I just thought I would let the spinning wheel just choose for me, because yes, I know in the last episode we said we would change this up, so I'd just read a whole series or just read the ones where it's a last book in a series, and I'm just not feeling that at the moment, so I don't want to make any decisions. Therefore this will make the decisions for me. I will be recording for as long as I need to. I want to read 3 or 4 books to get as many out of the way and done and dusted as possible, because if I can get a series down, meaning if I can DNF a series or I can finish a series, that is like music to my ears. Music. There's a couple that I would like to prioritise just because I'm more inclined to read them, and then there's someone here that I just do not want to read at all. But that's not a choice. I've started this series and I will finish this series at some point in my life. So yeah, we're just going to spin the wheel and then we're just going to see what happens. No point stalling it anymore. Oh god, okay. I actually don't know where that is. I think it's Bonds at Tie, which is a Kindle book. I do think I already have this downloaded on my Kindle, but we will have a quick gander and then we'll find out. I do think I already have this downloaded on my Kindle, but we will have a quick gander and then we'll find out. I think I'm on the 2nd or the 3rd book. I think. Yes. So the Bonds that Tie, so I'm on the 3rd book, which is Blood Bonds, and these are big. These are really big books. So this one, well, not massive. Well, I say big books, it's not 800 pages, it's still 550 pages, which is still quite on the large. Anything over 500 to me is big. And then when it gets 800 or 900, that's huge. Anyway, the whole point of this series is, have you read books before where it's kind of like a harem, but this is a reverse harem? So the main female, and then there's 5 or 6 guys around her, and usually in these books you have an insta lovey, the girl finds out about them and then she falls in love with them really easy, and it's that kind of romance. Well, this is she is adamant she does not want to fall in love with these guys. She is don't touch me. And I think I like this, it's more relatable, because if that ever happened, obviously I know it wouldn't, but if that ever happened, you wouldn't just be, yes, you can do anything you want to me because you are my mate. She fights it and she's against it, and then some of her mates don't really like her, and it's more of they're kind of fighting it because they just don't want it, and I like that because again, it's realistic. In this world, and I'm going to try to remember what happened. Shall I actually Google it? I'll just read the synopsis to you because it just makes life so much easier. After the death of my mother and her bonded, I was relieved to find my own bonds. I was sure everything would be okay if I had them. It wasn't. The fate of our people is in my hands, and I know we're better off if I'm alone. After 5 years on the run, I'm caught and dragged back to face the men, multiple, I ran away from. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now I'm not too sure. North, Knox, Griffin, Atlas and Gabe may never forgive me, but one thing is for sure, I won't ever forgive myself. So Broken Bonds is a full-length reverse harem. MNR novel with material that might be difficult for some readers. This book will end on cliffhangers. Honestly, it really does. It's recommended for 18 plus due to language and sexual situations. And the first book wasn't big. It was 289 pages and I rated that 4-star. And I rated it. I said, I stayed up till 3 AM finishing this book, ... Usually books about bonds are shocking and they all fall for each other way too quickly, but they don't in this one, and I find it more believable, which is what I've just said. And then book 2 says I rated that, again, 4 stars. When did I read these books? May last year. Okay, so I rated this one 4 stars and my rating was the last sentence, honestly, what the actual fuck. A lot of books in this series as well, you know, like it's not a little series. I've got myself deep with this one. It's a 6-book series, so I am just about halfway there. So in the last book, a war kicked off. So I'm surprised I actually haven't picked this book up before then, because obviously a war, there's fighting, there's romance, there's denial. Yeah, there's rich guys in here, there's like sunshine guys, there's grumpy guys, there's just every guy that you can think of, it's in here. There's tall, muscular, then there's skinny and more brainy. It's honestly everything you could possibly want. So it doesn't matter what you want in a guy, she has every single one of them. So we'll get into that, bring you along, see how it goes, provide an update, and then we can get this series down and dusted and done. We shall see. Speak to you soon. Bit of an update for you guys. I have finished Blood Bonds, the 3rd book in the Bonds That Tie series, right? And I was supposed to check in with you guys with how I currently am, but it was just so intense that I didn't want to put the book down, and I just kind of just continued with my life. And then I realised when I'd finished it that I'd finished it, and then oopsie, I have not spoken to you, so apologies. I still cannot believe that I left this book at like page 50 and didn't continue it, because we were in the middle of like a war. Like it was in the middle of it all, and I just stopped reading, and I'm quite surprised at that, because I don't know why I did, because it was intense. And because the whole book was intense, the ending was god damn. I really wanted to pick up the next book, but this is not what this video is about. So I'm gonna spin the spinner wheel, and then we can decide what the next read is. I'm open to anything, but all I can think about is how that book ended, because wow, that was the ending of that book was superb. Like, it was chef's kisses to the maximum. So oh well. Okay, well, this is kind of perfect, because I was just saying I really wanted to read the next book. The next book's called, I don't know if I've got it downloaded on my Kindle. Let's have a look. I think it's Forced Bonds. Let's have a look. Yeah, Forced Bonds. It's that one right there, which I will download in a second. But yeah, again, I kind of really wanted to read this one just because of how the 3rd book ended, because it was just so like, oh my god, I kind of need an explanation. So what I might do is I might change this vlog to be just finishing this series, because there's 4 books left in this whole series, and I know they said at the start of this vlog that I wanted to read 3 or 4 books. So this is all Kindle Unlimited, so it's kind of all free. I might as well just read all of them. So I'll come back with you with a bit of an update with where I am with book number 4. I might go make a drink because thirsty and all that, but yay! I love when it works out for me. I love that so much. I feel like at this stage you're just seeing the whole house at this point. Like, it's really sunny, and I just thought this was a very nice background. Anyway, I am around, what page am I on? 175 of the 5th book, Tragic Bond, right? And it's been such a traumatic experience, so traumatic. I'm gonna say probably roughly the first 10% of this book was just so raw. Like, the emotions were high, the level of anxiety was high, the anticipation was high. It was just like a high rated first 10% of a book, basically. After like the trauma has like not been rectified per se, but it was like kind of dealt with, it just kind of threw you into a massive smut scene. And it was just really bad time because it just didn't flow very well. And it's now getting to the point of this whole series, because obviously I'm at book 5 now, like I'm a little bit bored of the spice. Like, I love a little bit of smut in my books, but I am mostly here for the plot right now, because the smut, I mean, it's good smut. It's multiple people in the smut. It's spicy. But I don't know, I think there's just so much in there. Like, it's not even like about romance, it's about like rekindling your energy with your bonds at this stage. And it's just like, after every big scene there's a smut scene, and it's just getting to the point where like I'm enjoying the high anticipated like fights and the massive scenes and things, like a lot of drama. I love a bit of drama. But then you just know that there's going to be a huge smut scene afterwards that's multiple pages long, and I'm not here for it. The plot I'm here for, the spice I am insanely not here for. Throughout all the books, I mean, I never really had a favourite, but there's one person that I hated, and now I can see my feelings toward Knox not being hatred. It's more along the sides of like understanding and like admiration, and it's going towards the like inside of it. And I don't really know how I feel about that, because 5 books in and I've hated the guts out of him, like, why are you like this? But no, so I'm quite enjoying it now. So I'll catch up with you guys later with a bit of an update with what's going on, and then we'll end up starting book number 6, and then we can finish this series. It's just getting to the stage now where I'm not too fussed about how this is going, because I kind of think I know how it's going to end, and with every book leading towards the ending that I think it's definitely going to happen. But at this stage, I'm now 5 books in. I'm not going to finish it until I finish a series, and then I can just tick off the list and then probably never think about it again. That's the stage, like, I'm in too deep. Like, I am locked in right now. I am just secured, got to finish this, unfortunately. But at least we can get the number down by one whole series. So that's where we're currently at. It's a couple of hours later, and I'm now on page 337, so I've made like a little bit of a progress, a little bit of a dip in the deep end, and not much like massively has happened now, because we're coming to the end of the series, and it's just like tying loose knots and things, so it's just nothing oh my god kind of thing, like whatever, it is what it is. But I've just read past a scene where, so the main girl, Orlando, which we all call Ollie, she was really upset, and she panics and gets upset and runs to Knox's room and locks herself in the door, and she wants like some time alone to panic and to talk through and think through everything that she's just gone through, right? And hours go by, or she thinks it is anyway, and Knox comes in. So obviously it's Knox's room, so he's got the key. So he comes in the room and comforts her. But and they're on the bed, and the good thing about Knox is he doesn't talk about things with her. Like if she wants to sit there and cry, he doesn't mention it, he doesn't like make contact with her, he just sits next to her and just lets her do her. If you want to cry, cry it all out. But like he makes his presence aware, which if she wants to talk about it, she can do. He doesn't pester her like the rest of the group do. And I think that's one of the main reasons I'm starting to really like Knox. Like his personality throughout the whole series is he likes his independence, he likes his privacy, and he don't really talk about things. And at first that was portrayed in like a really bad way. Like he was a bit of a dick about it, he wasn't nice at all. But now that they're starting to get along and he's starting to be more like introduced within the Bond relationship, his personality kind of remains the same, but he treats her like a princess. And again, bad guys, I am all here for it, and I found it really, really sweet. And then eventually they do start talking, and I think from memory, I mean, I'm a couple pages past that now, but Knox does say that everybody, all the rest of the Bonds are sat outside the room on the floor. They will not go to sleep. They will not go to their own rooms because of how Ola is feeling, and they do not want to leave her. Even though she will not let them in the room with her, they're refusing to abandon her. And I just thought that was just such a raw form of love that I just thought, oh, that's really cute, that. And there's not that many times in this book where I thought that's kind of cute. I thought, oh, that's kind of raunchy, but never that's kind of cute. And yeah, it just kind of made me realise like this is raw. This is like pure and raw, open-chested love right now. So I just want to pop on and tell you that I'm not really having an amazing time. I'm not sat here like, oh my god, this is so good. But I'm not here like, I really hate this. I've read that much of it where I just want this to finish now. I want to see the ending, and then I want to take it off my list. So yeah, I'm probably going to pop on later on with the ending, and then I think we can then discuss the starting of book 6, the final destination type of thing, and then we can go from there. But yeah, I'm having an alright time, I'm chilling. It's not, each book is like 550 pages roughly, and it's not taking me a long time to get through them just because of how easy and quick paced it is. So some books you have to, like when it's really like informational dense, you have to sit there and take it in. This world's quite easy at this point of the books anyway. At the start there's a lot of information, but now I know everything, so I can pick up my speeding. I can just like glimpse read at it because I'm taking the information in. That's where I am. We can talk about it later on. Bye. It ended exactly how I thought it was going to end. And I'm kind of mad about it. I'm kind of not. Well, basically, all the rest of the books in the series ended in like a massive cliffhanger where you were like, oh, I don't know what's going on, I need to read the next book. Like, if you finished that book and then didn't pick up the next one, I am impressed with you, because the endings were just like mind blowing. This one didn't have the same energy. It just kind of like ended. I mean, it didn't end like mid-chapter where you're like, oh my god, tell me what happened next. It just kind of came to a conclusion, and then the book was finished. And the only reason I'm continuing the series is because I've only got one book left and then I've finished the whole series. Like, I still think, even though there's only one book left, book 5 should have ended in a cliffhanger. And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you all you authors out there, it should do. Just because you're so close to finishing the series, you still need to get us readers intrigued, because some people would not finish the series. They'd be like, I'm DNFing it. Like, you've read 5 books, some people would still DNF it. I'm not that person. I will just read it just so I can tick it off my list, but I still think a book like that should end in a cliffhanger. Like, it just ended and I'm like, okay, what's happening now? And I'm just reading it because I want to finish it. One more book down. What's another 550 pages so gonna do to me? Let's knock it down. Probably gonna talk to you tomorrow because it's, what time is it? 7:30. And I think I just want to like get cozy, eat some food because I haven't eaten yet, I'm really hungry. And then just kind of settle down and just chill for the night. So I'm probably going to pop on it tomorrow, and then we can get through book number 6 and then finish this vlog and then finish that series and then move on with our lives. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Probably. Hopefully. I think. Hey, I'm in the same position as I was earlier. I just kind of got into bed and was like, you know what, I'm going to take this afternoon and just read the 200 something pages to get where we are right now. So it's darker, I am in bed. And there's a part where I just thought, you know what, I want to talk to you about it. So I thought I'd just pop on and then we can discuss it together. So I'm at page 530 currently, and it was Knox again, my dude Knox, where it says he's talking to the bad guy, just so you know, he's talking to the bad guy, and the bad guy's like talking about like, oh, you're gonna kill me, please kill me, that type of situation, like whatever. And then Knox says, I don't want you to die, I want you screaming. And I just thought, you know what? Yes. Other than that, there's not really much of like an update for you guys. I've only got like 20 pages left, so I thought we can go through this together and then again talk about the ending. I think I know how it's going to go. I mean, he's talking to the bad guy like 20 pages before the end of the book, so obviously you can see what's going to happen. But yeah, I just thought we can go through it now and then we can talk about it. So 20 pages, 10, 15 minutes, if that. We'll have a look. It's been a couple of days since I last spoke to you guys. I think it's been 2 or 3. Unsure. I haven't finished the book. I know I sometimes do that. I know I sometimes like disappear for a couple of days, come back and be like, oh my god, I finished the book. But I haven't done that this time, so don't worry. I am roughly halfway through Unbroken Bonds. And this book is steady, like real slow and a little bit low-key boring. So the past like 100 and, well, I don't know when I clocked in, but the past how many pages I'm in, it's been mostly about romance, smut, and history. So they're at the stage where they're going in balls deep about the past, about what's going on in the background, again, tying off a couple of loose ends. I mean, right now, I'm currently at the stage where if they prolonged the past book by an extra 150 pages, we could have finished this series. I feel like this book's a little bit unnecessary. It feels a little bit like stretched out just to get in a book. And again, it's like 540 pages long, so it's not even a short book. And I'm just kind of, that's why it's taken me so long to talk to you guys, because I just have not been wanting to pick this book up. I want it done, but I don't have the enthusiasm to finish said book. So that's where we're currently at. Yay, go us. I think within the first like 10% of this book, so the last book didn't really end off in a cliffhanger, it just kind of ended. So I wasn't really expecting like a big like, oh my god, because they have to finish off what the cliffhanger was. Well, within the first 10 minutes there was a massive orgy. And I'm normally okay with that sort of stuff. I'm normally like, you know what? Okay, let's read that. But there was just so many. There was just so many. And yeah, by that point, I was just like, thank you. Next, I just couldn't deal with that. There was a point in the book, and I think it was like 150 pages-ish. I was in bed at the time, and something happened, and I did the hardest eye roll possible. And I just wanted to explain things to you. So I wrote on a piece of paper, and I said on page 155, Gabe says, I think we can distract them in other ways. And Ollie says, so a giant orgy 24/7 to stop them from ending the world. That doesn't sound exhausting at all. And guess what? Guess what? Did they continue? Did they go ahead to have said massive orgy? Yes, they did. At this point, it's making me feel like a little bit of a prude. And normally I'm a hands down smut, I'm your gal, but this series is just digging the piss. It's not even like built up energy, like built up like angst where they want to just work it off or anything. No, it's not. It's they do it to reboost their energy levels, and it's just like at one point she has sex with a dragon. But I'm hoping, because this book is ridiculously slow, I'm hoping the last fight of the whole book is going to be so intense. I'm hoping like this is just like the build up to the massive fight at the end. And I want to say I expect it to be slow. I expect the ending to be like, meh, it was alright. I expect that, but I hope it's not. I hope I don't read 6 book series for the ending to be shit. So, because if it is, this has been like roughly, I've read just over 2,000 pages in this vlog. 2,000 pages in this vlog. And if the ending is shit, then I'm going real sad. Real sad. So I guess today we're going to be finishing the last 200 and something pages. Won't take me long. It's early today, so perfect. Good weekend. And yeah, we'll get going. I'll give you an update. I might just talk to you when I finish the book, you know, because with how slow paced this book is going, I'm like, read another 100 pages. Has anything happened? No. I'm glad we had this chat. It's going how I thought it would, and it's such a nice way to end this series. Like, God, it could have gone so bad, but it's going pretty well. I'm enjoying this last part. This whole book has been so slow and steady. Someone's died. That was kind of sad. Kind of sad for our main gal, but right. So I've just finished a chapter, right, and the next chapter starts by saying, I wake up naked from the waist up. Why? I have a deja vu moment. Hello. Oh my God. Finished. What was that last sentence? I'm getting fucked so hard, it's so amazing, all these boys are mine. Done. But this series just overall annoyed me. It didn't go the way I thought it could have done, and I feel like there was a lot of missed potential in this series, and I'm just, you can tell I'm kind of mad about it, but whatever. With regards to the men, there was Atlas, Gabe, Griffin, Knox, North. Atlas, Gabe, Griffin, Knox, and North. There was 5 men. That really confused me. There was 5 men and 1 girl. Knox and North are brothers, and they had the power to like condemn shadows. So they had creatures that could like pour out of them. Do you know, like when it seeps off the skin? That's what their powers were. And Knox was more in control with his powers than North was. And it goes into a lot of depth and details into why and how in book 5, and I really enjoyed going into that, because throughout the whole series you just didn't understand, it never told you, and then in book 5 I came across, it was really sad because it kind of went like back and forth into the future to the present, and it was really nice seeing that. I mean, it wasn't really nice per se. If you've read it, you've read it and you understand why, but it was a nice to understand his torture. You know what I mean? North is a councilman, so he has a lot of respect in like the authority figure of the town, city, village, wherever they are. Griffin can like seep through people's minds, tell if they're lying, see what people are thinking. He has this ability where he can like push down your barriers and speak directly into your mind. And he can then, if he's seeing something with his eyes, he can portray what he's seeing into someone else's head, so that's what they're seeing. Gabe is a shifter. He can shift into animals. Whatever animal he can think of, he can shift into it. And usually he goes into, what does he go into? He goes into like panthers, lions, tigers, bears, that type of thing. And then Atlas is indestructible. So he, like, if a wall falls down on him, he will not be squished. If someone shoots him, it'll bounce off of him. And I like that. Our main girl, she, I'm not going to tell you actually, because you find out at first, I'm not going to tell you. Her best friend, Sage, she can control fire, which is real cool. And then her bonded, there's Felix. Felix is, like a medic. He can like heal people really quickly. And then there's, what is his name? Is it Kieran? I think it's Kieran. He's the teleporter. So he can like hold people and then they can like teleport somewhere else. And all the powers are really, really cool. You come across people who can like play with your emotions, makes you feel a certain way, or there's other people where they still meddle with your emotions, but they like make your current emotions stronger. So they don't make you feel something. It's whatever you're currently feeling, they can either like dampen that feeling or intensify it. There's people who can like intensify pain, so your whole body, they can just erupt you in pain. What else is there? There's people who can control like the water, like the earth, storms, rains, honestly anything, that any power you can probably imagine, it's in this book. And the concept of that I thought was sick, amazing. They had so much potential to do everything in it, and certain parts of these books were amazing. She did, was it an author? Was it a female? Was it a female author? Yeah, J. Bree. And I feel like she did so well in certain aspects, but because of how big the books were, I think she had to do like filler episodes per se, where there's days where they're just doing nothing's going on, but she wants to incorporate that in their lives. I think if she got rid of all those, it might be like a 4-book series, and they'd just be like dense, so much information, so much action, and so much world building. I think it would have been really, really good. For me, it was just too prolonged. That being said though, I have been reading these books for like 2 weeks, so I've just been in this world for 2 weeks straight, and I'm so glad it's finished. I can then start a new book, getting into a new world, continue my life and get my TBR down, but at least we've now got 1 series done. I didn't actually realise how far and behind and unfinished in my series I am, because there's so many books where there's like a 9-book series and I'm on like book 2. There's so many of those, and it's really daunting. But I think this worked out for the best because all those books were on Kindle Unlimited, and yeah, it was technically free. I mean, I know I paid for Kindle Unlimited, but what I paid for Kindle Unlimited is equivalent to 1 book, and I've just read 4 books with you guys. So technically, Gale Maths and all is free. So I'm glad I didn't have to then go out and buy the physical books of them because I didn't really enjoy it, and I'm glad it's finished with. But if you're wanting something like a reverse harem and you just want to delve into something a little bit different, probably do try this one because, and I've said this 1,000 times in these videos, reverse harems, they are insta-lovey, but this one, they fight each other from day one. And I like that. I do. You see each person getting closer in each book because there's 6 books and there's 6 of them in total. And I just realised that, like, in the most recent book, I thought, oh yeah. And all the pictures have the different characters in them. And it never dawned on me. It dawned on one of them where there was like the guy and then it was things in it. And I looked at the picture and I thought, why is that on there? And then at the end of the book, I was like, oh, that's why it's on there. That makes sense. In the picture, she gives you like Easter egg hunts, Easter egg surprises. What is the saying? You know what I mean? Anyway, that. So I'm gonna go. I am done. I've been reading this for such a long time. I'm now going to pick a book up and I'm going to sit here and enjoy it and enjoy my life. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in next week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe though. Bye guys. Yeah, so the ending didn't really capture. I was trying to say capture. Just probably that curl is reminding me. The 3rd book in the Broken Bonds, is that what it's called? Nope. A dragon. Stop. And yeah, let's kind of smash this series. Off smash it. Who am I?